r/ask Reddit. Men of Reddit, what is one non-sexual thing you love about girls? They regularly go out with their buddies and validate the living shit out of each other. Seriously, male compliments are so rare I've mistaken a few as jokes or insults. One female friend goes out of her way to give everyone a compliment at her house parties. It's nice. I've heard it said back quote women compliment each other without meaning it, and men insult each other without meaning it. I think it's really funny that people perceive women complimenting other women as fake. Just because most of us find it easy and fun doesn't mean it's insincere. Exactly. It feels nice. I remembered one day it clicked for me when some random woman complimented my outfit. I was like, holy shit, that feels so nice. And now I never hesitate to compliment not only my friends but everyone. Because it's easy and nice on our end, and the receiver might feel awesome the rest of the day. It's a win-win. I've only ever heard men saying that, and not ones I'd expect to be super knowledgeable about women's friendships. I've started going out of my way to compliment the homies. Now our whole group does it and it slaps. I'm 23 and it feels like guys complimenting each other is really a normal thing by now. Guys calling each other handsome mother duckers, or complimenting pieces of clothing/shoes. It really happens all the time in my environment. Guys just don't give compliments that often. If you hang out around more girls you're bound to get more compliments. Or in my case, more insults as opposed to just being ignored. As a guy, one of the best ways of expanding your social life is to start giving people genuine compliments. Everyone wants to feel appreciated, and it'll make you appear as a confident guy who isn't completely wrapped up in himself. If one of their group is going through a rough patch they all swoop in, cakes, cards, visits, until everything is sorted. I felt the need to do a Jesus take the wheel moment before Christmas, when I went through a rough patch, deciding that if I died, then that was what should happen. The guys still don't know about any of this, never knew if anything was wrong even. I guess us dudes are just stupid for not opening up to each other, my fault, and then would probably be weirded out if someone did open up. Hope you're doing better now, friend. I got it out of my system. I didn't leave the road, so clearly meant to be here. Still in the shit, but getting through it. Thanks. Hey bro, nice cock. Yeah dude, it's hella thick. This is ducking it dude. Every girl I know has a bazillion other girls commenting hearts and compliments on every one of her Insta posts, even if they're not that close. It must do wonders to their self-esteem. I wish guys were more like that. Well, studies show that young girls have on average less self-esteem because they are almost constantly compared to each other. Getting a hug and a whiff of freshly washed hair. Much nicer than hugging your dog and having it smell of poo. Underrated thing I missed during all of this social distancing. I read this as getting hung and a whiff of freshly washed hair, and I was very concerned. How they show their excitement so much more than dudes. And even show excitement when it's like small stuff. I had a friend Cynthia who on the first day back from spring break sees me sitting in the cafeteria and immediately started screaming my name and running towards me. I didn't stand up immediately, so she starts yanking on my chair, despite me being twice her weight, and once I stand up, she gives me a big hug, while still squealing with joy. She hadn't seen me in a week, that sigh. So that's what it's like to have someone genuinely excited to see you. Well, shit. Yeah, but it's bittersweet when it's gone. Stop, you're making me cry. The same feels too real. Keep her as a friend, as long as you can. If she ever confessed feelings, marry her. Well, sad story there. Warning, long story ahead. The major points are, the week I was working up enough courage to finally ask her out, she starts gushing about this dude who asked her out the night before. I was crushed, but she a while got over it cause if he really made her happy I shouldn't be butthurt over it. I never was his biggest fan, but figured that was just residual jealousy. Skip to a while later, he dumps her kinda out ta the blue, and it triggers her depression pretty bad. Found out a little later he would pressure her into sex, which pissed me off beyond belief. But because her depression got pretty bad I did my best to just be there as a friend and even get to school an hour early when I didn't have classes, just to hang out with her a bit. Late one night texting, I for some reason told her I had been trying to ask her out before this whole mess started, and she said I should, course she would have said yes. But right then she wasn't really ready to date again, which I totally got. We continue to hang out like normal. I try to help her with her depression using my experience of dealing with my own. Eventually she does hanging out at school, since her ex goes there, so I don't see her much but still text. Then she stops replying to any text I send her, whether it be over the phone, through Facebook, which I eventually figured out she deactivated, or even Snapchat. I start messaging her if something's wrong. Is there anything I can do? I say that I've lost too many friends because of my issues and lack of social skills, but I refuse to lose her. Still no response. I eventually figure out how to message her over Instagram. I was pretty new to it and didn't know how it all worked, and ask her why she been ghosting me. She actually replies and says she wasn't ghosting me, but she couldn't afford her phone plan, so that no longer worked. She deactivated Facebook, and that for some reason she hadn't been able to log into Snapchat for a while. I never messaged her again. I realized that even if all that was true, she never tried to find a way to contact me. She could have sent me a message over Facebook with an email address before she deactivated it, or a WhatsApp number, but nope, nothing. It had been like 2 months, and she didn't reach out once. I cried like a baby. My heart was broken. I cared about our friendship so much, but at least from what I can see, she didn't. I miss her all the time, and I'm pretty sure she still lives in the same crap town as me, but I've never reached out since. So unfortunately, no happy ending here. I know this all sounds like a crappy soap opera or something, but unfortunately it's just what happened. If you wanted to ask her out, shouldn't have worked up a cottage. Don't you hate it when you're trying to confess, but ended up making a cottage? If she's depressed, that could be the reason she never reached out. I felt I've lost many a friend because I just don't have it in me to reach out. And every day that passes it gets harder and harder. Maybe she doesn't care about the friendship, but maybe she wants to, if that makes sense. They smell great all day. My GF will put on perfume in the morning and still smell great at the end of the day. And then there's me, M17, where if I don't shower every 2 hours, my mom will say I smell like something died. It's the fapping. Yes, we can smell it. Oh shit. That and your dirty thoughts. Holy duck, damn, I'm busted. Busted like a nut. I can't tell if this is a joke or not. It's not. The socks, bro. Don't wear the fapping socks. Other women, I find it opposite. I feel that my expensive perfume wears off easily, but the $5 Axe body spray that the local 13-year-old wears lingers through the whole grocery store. Well, the kids spray a whole can as soon as they buy it, that's why. I used to do the same thing too. More spray, more better. I read once that the sign of a good perfume, or one that is right for you, is one you don't notice, so there's that. They're much better at impromptu, casual conversation in general than men are. I used to be terrified of girls, then I realized you don't have to have game for them to want to talk to you. In fact, they just want to be talked to like the normal people that they are. I don't even mean I like taking to women in a flirtatious way, I just love girl talk in general. This is actually really valid. I'm a dude with some common guy characteristics, but unless you're one of my close male friends, I'm generally much more comfortable talking to women as a general rule. It's a bit of a stereotype, but they are more prone to talk ideas, and not just information. And if guys do talk ideas, it's too often them aggressively talking at you. Sorry Daryl, I don't care to have a 20-minute exchange about grass seed. What do you mean talk ideas? Again, I'm making pretty large generalizations. And maybe impressions/feelings might have been a stronger word choice than ideas. Basically, in a given casual conversation, a man is more likely to talk about concrete subjects and make dullard small talk. And when it comes to matter of opinion, it can be less of an exchange and more of an explanation as to how they are right. I enjoy banter and women tend to do this more readily and eagerly. It can be breezy or it can be heavier, but it's more conversational and more two-sided. And they, listen. My guy friends do this for the most part and that's why they are my friends. A couple of them don't, and it's harder to hang out with them. As a girl, I love hearing this because I value my platonic male friendships so much and often feel more comfortable talking to them than some of my other female friends. It's amazing when we both know that we have no romantic interest in each other and can purely enjoy each other's company as friends. Their diversity of style. I'm actually kind of jealous they have so many options available, and most girls I know take full advantage. I don't know why most cultures are much more lenient when it comes to critiquing female style, but it's a fact. Women can wear a lot of things a man would be flamed for. Yes, but men can also wear a lot more than they do. Maybe it's not accepted for a man to wear a dress, but that doesn't mean t-shirt and pants is the only style. If men want to be fashionable, I definitely think they can, but you're right that it's still limited by what society thinks. Sure, but there are dozens of things that exist in women's fashion that don't exist in men's fashion. Just look at necklines. A woman can wear a strapless shirt, a v-neck, a scoop neck, a boat neck, a crew neck, a collared shirt, a turtleneck, a sweetheart neck, a trapezoidal neckline, etc. Sleeves are another area where women's shirts have like 15 styles and men's have maybe 5. When you mix and match these factors, women end up with many more styles to choose from. The only equivalent men's styles I could think of were collared, v-necks, and t-shirts. Edit. You've all made me realize I know nothing about fashion at all. Turtleneck, but only serial killers wear those. And tactical spies. How excited they get to have a dress with pockets. It's adorable. I also used to really like when we'd all get together and style each other's hair. Can confirm. I styled girls for years, and if the dress has pockets, 95% buy it. Justice for pockets. Careful about the pockets thing. We are sensitive about that. It's so cute though. I loved going dress shopping with my friends and seeing how excited they'd get when we found one with pockets. See how much can fit in the pockets and spinning around with the dress. Adorable. I'm here for it. I'm a straight dude and I get excited for women when they find dresses with pockets. I ran into an old friend at a club a while ago and we danced a bit. She had her back to me and my hands were on her waist when I discovered her pockets. We finished the dance with my hands in her pockets. Was awesome. I love to hear a woman in the home singing. It sounds like a happy home. My wife cannot carry a tune to save her life. She's just not good at it. But when she's happy, she sings to herself around the house. I love hearing it, because it's how I know she's in a good mood and it just warms my heart. I'm god awful at singing, but my fiance will always request me to sing songs for him. And when I sing, our son falls asleep in my arms. Understand that I couldn't care less if my wife's not a great singer, but I love hearing her anyway. I used to work in a lab setting where the girl down the hall sang to herself, but I could hear it in my lab too. She wasn't great, but man, it always put me in a good mood. She sang just for herself, songs that she liked, and wasn't trying to impress anyone. When I told her I could hear her, and she always made my day, she happy cried because she thought it was sweet. It made me smile. My cat tries to bite me when I sing. The little touches in passing. A hand on my back as she walks by. Point. My wife passed away in March, and I had no idea what these little gestures meant to me until now. I'm sorry for your loss, dear. I hope you find some peace. You don't think about how one might miss those super tiny gestures. Hey, I'm super sorry for your loss. No words really get out how awful it is, and I know no amount of some random internet person telling you how bad it must be will make it better, but I'm sorry. I'm not attracted to girls, but one thing I always like is how happy they seem after you compliment them. They always smile, say thank you, and it's just a really nice moment. Be it their dress, makeup, hair, or whatever, they always seem happy to know that someone appreciates the effort they've put in. My friend noticed I lost weight, and I was so freaking happy. Thank you for freaking noticing. Women are generally more understanding and provide better levels of empathy than men. With a lot of the men I know, admittedly through working and participating in sports the first 2/3 of the life I've lived, it's suck it up, princess, whereas women want to get to the root of the problem and work on finding the right solution. As a woman, I agree. I've had a couple of really sensitive / empathetic male friends who are different in that sense, but a lot of them reply to things with "wow, that sucks," and killing the subject. While with other women and these two dudes we would spend at least an hour talking about our lives. There's more topics I can talk about with them. Most guys I know just wanna talk about sports. Can confirm. Literally right after I read this, a text from my girlfriend popped up saying "wanna see my carrots?" Followed by a picture of sliced carrots. That's incredibly cute. It's just like that one comic "Do you have a cookie?" No? Here you are, a cookie. Good lord, there isn't a single topic on earth that interests me less than sports. And it's literally all my coworkers ever want to talk about. I tried so hard to get into it. Watching local games, playing fantasy football, and it is simply the biggest waste of time I can think of. I like some sports, but if that's the only thing someone can contribute to any conversation, I think that's kind of sad.